even though we've been talking for about more than 15 minutes now, I now started recording. And like I said, the purpose of this video is to share your testimonial of where were you before we started working together and where are you now? What has worked for you, right? Maybe someone will just jump into this video and see themselves where you were and where you're now and find that there's light that they can follow within to whatever destination they want to go in life, either inside or outside of themselves. And that's what's really valuable about this video. And to show people that there is always a way, right, to find what you're looking for, whether it be within yourself or outside of yourself, if you're able to trust yourself. So thank you so much for giving yourself the time and for sharing your time with me to work with this video, Sandra.
It's my complete honor. And when you were talking about where were you when we first met, I think that you helped me realize I was in a stuck pattern. I was searching, I was digging hard. I think it had been about 2 years since I'd really moved forward. I was in deep contemplation and self-introspection, but it was very frustrating. And it was a point where I think I'd almost given up the trust in myself. So joining your course allowed me to stop, breathe, even though I was teaching breathwork at the time and I was very much doing my practices. I think what I needed was someone beside me to say, trust yourself, listen to yourself. And that's what you allowed me that opportunity to do, was to go to some of your practices. So I got to change up and adapt some of my own morning practices, go with your practices, and really create a space of trust in myself. And you've been such a good guide continuously throughout this process, even long after the course, of always reminding me to listen to myself and trust myself. So I'm forever grateful.
Thank you so much, Sandra. This is fantastic. It's been an honor so far, and it is an honor and a privilege really to witness and for you to allow me to still be part of your story and know what you're doing and what you're creating, which is fantastic. I mean, I still remember you telling me that what you wanted to create and where you felt stuck. And just a few months later to see you at full throttle, you know, in what you've always desired once you unleashed yourself, it's just fantastic. I mean, I still remember the day that I was, someone told me, he said, so I said, okay, so where's Sandra? And she said, well, she went to Peru. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, she's going to Peru. And then you called me and you said, Alan, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm like, what? I want to see you. I'm like, well, what, where? And all of a sudden you just took life like, boom, you know, you shifted right away.
I equated it to standing on the edge of a cliff, and I knew I had to jump because all I was finding up until that point was reasons why I shouldn't jump, or why it was scary, or when I jumped before, this is what happened. And as I said to you, learning to trust and know that my past stories of successes or failures didn't define how this next journey was going to be. So when I heard that calling of go to Peru, I knew that it was kind of the beginning of this second phase and that I was going to be doing a lot of cliff jumping. And you just guided me through, even when we met that day and you're like, we must meet, we must go for lunch before you take off. I knew that there was something really special and that we were celebrating before I even left. And then to watch it all unfolding. And every time I still doubt myself, because there's moments that you sit and go, what am I doing? This is crazy. I'm reassured by that guidance and knowing that it is unfolding the way it's supposed to, and just having that sincere faith in myself and my own abilities to be able to walk through that. And once you get through that next step, each step gets a little easier once the momentum starts, right? So I would say to anybody who's sitting back, hesitating and doubting themselves right now, that if you can just trust in somebody like you to hold their hand a little bit and say, you're going to be fine, just trust in yourself and go forward, I've got your back. That's where your coaching, I think, is essential for helping people get through the ring of fear.
Thank you so much. Wow. I love your words. Thank you so much.
You're born
Thank
to
you so
do this. You're born to do this.
I'm enjoying it very much, that's for sure.
And
And
that passion, by the way, also ignites passion. I believe that love of anything we do is contagious. And your passion for what you do, even though I know you've had your own challenges having to move and cultural, I watch you as well, but you lead with such grace and you lead with such humility, saying what your challenges are and that you have to use your own practices every day is reassuring, because we get to watch you be a leader in that. And I watch the other participants, not just myself, reaping the benefits of having you move with them in each of their individual journeys as well. And that takes a special person, because you are having to adapt to all of our different characteristics and our different weaknesses and build us up to push us forward. So congratulations on being able to continually do that, because it's not just a one course thing. It's a lifetime now that you're committed to. So I honor those abilities and those gifts you've been given to carry forward.
thank you very much, Sandra. And it's also one thing that is beautiful about this journey is meeting every person I meet, like yourself. It's really meeting that whole new universe inside, because every person is a whole different universe.
Yeah.
And I feel so passionate about getting to know new universes, that once I find myself like being fully present for someone else, immediately that someone else feels permission to step into being present for themselves as well and for their own life.
You talk to us so much about being energy and our frequencies and that we emit. I think you asked me what one of the biggest benefits was understanding that I was a frequency. I was a radio station, if that helps understand it a little better, and to own that radio station, and that whatever I'm sending out, people who are meant to come to that radio station or that frequency will rise and come to it. And you're saying you love to meet all of those different planes, those different realities, or those different frequencies. You not just meet them, Alan, but you cherish them. And I realize how personalizing that is new world, isn't it? It really is. We're not getting cookie cutter business ideas anymore. Oh, this plan is for the entire room. It's getting to know each individual, what they're passionate about, and then supporting them as they listen to themselves. And I think that's where I'm really recognizing I don't need somebody from the external world telling me what I should do. I'm listening to myself to make myself happy, be passionate about it, and then it sends it out to the whole universe. Anybody who's interested will know they can come to me for my individual business, or to just be part of my circle, my frequency. And that energy knowledge was crucial in helping me know who I really am.
That is fantastic. Something that is wonderful about when I met you, Sandra, it was immediately the moment I sat down with you, I felt this huge energy, just wanting to get out there, be unleashed completely, and this huge connection to everything and everyone. Fearless, completely fearless on the outside. But still on the inside, there was something where you hesitated, right? Yet when we met, I did get to feel that something shifted a little bit, and you opened the door to me.
Mm-hmm.
You opened the door to me because I had just come to Vancouver, right? And I'm starting to reach out with what I do. And meeting with you really also opened that click for me about reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank you because you also opened the door for me to start expressing what I do here in my new home.
Mm-hmm.
And you open the doors with your trust. You open the doors of others to trust me. And I am so grateful what that has opened for me so far.
I'm known to cry, so if I cry, please forgive. Because I feel that, and I feel that when you meet somebody genuine who's just authentic, and yeah, we can have our self-doubts, and I think it actually helps our clients to admit those doubts and to say, yeah, there's times I sit with myself alone and go, should I, will? And then when you have friends and support, because that's what you've turned into is, yes, you were my business coach or whatever you'd like to call yourself, but you are more than that. Now you're a part of my friend family network. And so that level of trust just keeps increasing. And I think what happened with us is we really got to share energies of love and trust and where we want to go with what we do or our purpose in life. And I think that people do feel that. And so it's easy to refer you. It's easy to use words. I'm not just saying them because they're going to help your marketing video. I'm saying them because they're in my heart. And you've helped change my life and help me walk into what I'm supposed to be doing. At least I believe that in my soul right now. It's an assurance that I haven't had in a long, long time. And once you get off of that, because it was so different from what I've done in my past lives, right? You start out young, you go to school, you think, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. And then poof, something happens and you realize, no, that was just what everybody else wanted me to do at that point. And it was great. It built me up to what I'm supposed to be doing now, but it's soul's purpose. And now it doesn't feel like work. I'm working long hours still, but it doesn't feel like that because it's filling me up. And that's what your passion does for me is you said it will feel like you're floating through it. You're flowing with the universe instead of grinding it out each and every day. And so I really use that to help my guests as well in our home and our business practices every day, try to get that North Star. Are we aligned and are we doing everything and making decisions from our heart, not just our head? And that was a big change. So thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing all of this. This is so precious. I'm sure that someone that's looking at this video will definitely, if they resonate with what we've shared, they'll know that there's a way. There's always a way once they look within. Sandra.
And that those holding patterns are okay too, right? Is
Exactly.
that if you're coming to class and you're practicing those, whether it's heart-centered breathing, whatever you feel you resonate with, if it takes like I was in and just kind of sitting still, and it's teaching you patience as well. So being okay with whatever phase you're in at that point, because something beautiful is brewing in the background. I said it was like I was in the kitchen and I was just waiting for my dessert to be done. And once you smell it and you know it's coming, it's like, that was worth the wait. But it just takes something to reassure you that you're okay at that point. There's nothing wrong.
From all of the tools that we worked with, right, and the different practices that you went through, which one or what do you feel has worked for you still? I mean, you went through this process with me about, it's going to be now more than 3 months, right? So what is still, from what we worked, is there any specific tool that you still practice that has worked for you? And this helps me also know what works for people that resonate with your energy when I'm working with them. And that helps me also go even deeper into the tools. So
I always had early morning practices. So that just supported that I was on the right train of my morning practices. But the gratitude and the focus on listening to your heart, because everyone teases me that I'm always about love, love, love vibration, right? Oh, love this, love that. But it's, you just supported me and reassuring me that's an important part of whatever you're doing, is to make sure that you're always checking in with your heart. Also, writing things down more than I did and rewriting the story, I found that made me really go deeper than I had in just my thoughts, because normally my morning practices didn't have anything to do with writing things down. I went through gratitude lists, but not the same amount of writing. Suddenly, when I put that into effect, it seemed to affect my reality a lot more. So I was really grateful for you making me rewrite some of those stories.
thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. And it's been really fantastic to see, as you were writing, when I remember when we were working together and you shared with me what it was like for you to write it down, right? And then to find yourself, if I may share, I still remember the moment when you said, I just figured out I'm not alone.
Yeah.
That you didn't have to do it alone.
you didn't have to do it alone, and that you were beating yourself up. Like, I was my hardest critic. And when I look back at that, it broke my heart. I was like, here I was saying I was encouraging myself, but meanwhile, I was just really holding myself to a line and not giving myself that space that I needed to just live for a little bit, right? And figure it out. Once you were reminding me about being kind, and that the universe was really working with me, not against me, even though it felt sometimes the opposite, it allowed me to reposition and just trust the path that I was on. And that has, it's truly readjusted the way I look at every day that I start now.
You're really an inspiration to me. I
Mm,
want you to know that, because being able to see your shift into
yeah,
that, into showing up for life and allowing life to show up for you,
yeah.
and that shift that you took right away, and now that you're stepping up to what would, for people, for someone that is not going through your journey right now, would be uncertainty,
Mhm.
right? And being comfortable with that in creating your life right now, the way you want to create it with your projects, creating your inner vision from your heart, right? It's just amazing. For me to be able to witness it, it uplifts me to be able to help more people, you know? It's just like, it's so inspiring. I want to let you know that.
Well, it was funny. Somebody asked me what I was doing this morning, and I said what I was doing, and they're like, "Oh, another one of those testimonials." And I said, "No, no, no, no. This is really different, because this is not even for you, but for that person that might be sitting there right now, feeling like they're alone and feeling like, oh, everyone says have faith, have faith." I can remember watching a few of those myself on trying to choose somebody that I wanted to learn from. And it's difficult because there are so many different possibilities out there. But knowing that somebody's resonating, how it affected them personally, I think is much more influential. And I know you didn't just teach me to listen to myself, but to know that once I sent that frequency out, whatever my wishes may be, the faith was actually just knowing that it was going to come. How I get there in the journey, that's the fun part. Instead of being hesitant, you were like, enjoy that journey, find the space in that and go, it can come at you any way, shape, or form. That's the excitement and the spark of life. Once I realized that, now I send it out. I'm trying to manifest some beautiful furniture into our new healing home that we have. And I'm going, I've sent it out there. How it comes in is going to be beautiful. I'm not going to have to try to find it. Right. And sure enough, I go downstairs this morning. My mom's like, oh, I found this beautiful. Right. So it's just interesting how it all manifests. And now I just wait for the next exciting opportunity and know that I'm creating this all by just aligning each and every day through your practices. My only
Thank you.
responsibility.
Fantastic. It's just fantastic. I don't have words, because words would not match what you're sharing right now. Thank you. I
Yeah.
can only express a lot of gratitude for you being able to share this out to the world, because a testimonial can change the life of a person. 100%.
Absolutely.
I know it changed mine and it saved mine. So thank you so much for sharing all of this. I believe if someone is watching this video and resonates with what you're saying, they'll know that there's always a way. And
They'll
what they're
feel it.
doing is fine. They'll feel it, it's fine.
Mm.
And lastly, who would you recommend to work with me and to go through one of my processes, and why?
I'm going to speak to the people who think they don't need somebody else, because I would believe that's how I first started. When I met you over lunch, I was thinking, oh, yeah, that's great. I hear what you're doing. I don't need that. Right. And I think more than ever, when we're in that space of thinking we don't, that's when we really need somebody. And so that's where I'm really grateful. And the truth was, is because I didn't, there was a part of me that knew, but there was a part of me that was still fighting getting to the edge of that cliff and knowing that I had to jump. And that's what you reassured me is, yeah, you're standing right here. You know it. Now be brave enough to have the faith to jump. And once I got through those practices with you, which were so, by the way, so gentle and so sweet, because I was like, how's he going to get me to jump off this cliff? You did it in such a smooth transition that I was never fearful of it. But yet you heard me through some of the morning exercises on the boards where we'd share. I was like, wow, did I get walloped with that exercise this morning? Because once you start digging into your own truths and some of the programming that you've written or are believing, that's when you start going, aha. And you recognize how you got trapped in your own belief system, right? And it's limitation. That's all I can say it was limitation. And you helped me take my own filters off and see the truth of where I was. And that's when you start to go, why did I allow that to happen? And you see your own possibilities, your own future unraveling in front of you. And that's when you jump freely instead of being pushed. And so you gave me the wings to know that I'm not going to crash. I'm going to be okay. And regardless of what comes at me, I know that this is part of my journey and that I'm excited about it instead of being fearful.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. Wow. So much love.
Yeah.
From my heart to your heart, Sandra, thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you so much. There's so many people out there that now it's like I was saying before, now it's such a valuable moment in history that we're living right now. I mean, every moment is valuable in history, right? Mm-hmm. But right now, it's a moment of awakening. People are starting to look within, and you sharing this will definitely allow people to look within and take that step forward courageously, look into their hearts. Sandra, thank you so much for sharing your testimonial, for sharing your experience. I feel really, really honored to be able to serve you. And like I always say, it's a real privilege to be on the other side, to help you, to support you, and then to witness what you're doing and how you're getting there. It's just fantastic.
Likewise, my friend, any way I can help you and help others in this journey, it's exciting. Let's do it together.
100%. I can only wait to go and visit you and what you're creating. I mean, I can't wait. I told my wife already, and she's like, yeah, we need to get there. We have to get there. Like, as soon as we get everything figured out right now with the changes that we're going through, that's our next step, 100%. And as she's working on it as well right now, like in the vision of that and what she's designing, she's so inspired. It's fantastic.
We can't wait to host you. And as I said, we knew that it wasn't just a business meeting. This was much bigger. And so that's when we're excited to have you come to our home and see and feel the land as well, because everybody should have that opportunity. It's special.
I look forward. I look forward to it grandly.
Have a beautiful day and happy unpacking.
Thank you. Yes, we're still going through the unpacking, but we'll get there. I send you lots of love and light. Sandra, thank you so much for sharing your testimonial.
My pleasure.